Hey team, welcome to our Wednesday night call. Before I hand it right over to Sammy, right in, we don't even do all the things. A couple of quick announcements. As you guys come on, I'm just going to start muting you guys really quickly. Super Weekend is this weekend, guys. I want to keep calling it Super Saturday because that's what I've known it as, I don't know, for like 6 years. Find an event near you. They're Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, depending on where you're at. If you go into the Coach Online office and just search Super Weekend under the FAQ, it'll pop right on up. If you're in the Columbus area or want to come visit, we have ours going in on Friday night, but they're all over the country. Even if you're a brand new coach, even if you have nobody to go with you, get to an event. The National Wake Up Call really talked and honed in events from this past week, so make sure to check that out. But get to an event. Go. I promise. It won't be disappointing. You will love it. The Summit ticket promo did end, guys, but you can still get your ticket to Summit. I think we have 30 people going right now, which is amazing. Sorry. Most amount of coaches that we've ever had, which is super exciting. So if you haven't gotten your ticket, guys, still time to get your ticket. And I think that's the only couple of announcements that I have. I meant to have a leaderboard ready to go tonight, but life, kid, refusing to nap, all the things. So tonight we have a guest speaker. I told you guys a couple weeks ago I'd follow her so you could get to know her. I don't follow a lot of coaches anymore, but Sammy's one of the few that I follow. I connected with her thanks to LME and just fell in love with her. That sounds really weird and stalkerish, but it's cool. And Pongo and all the things. Pongo's her dog. If you don't know who Pongo is, you need to go. Yeah, Dalmatian, most adorable dog ever. He may cause havoc, he may cause havoc, but he's pretty adorable. And I just asked her to do a team call for her. You never know. And I'm just gonna hand it right over to you, Sammy. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. I think it's always less awkward and whatnot. And I don't even know what Sammy's talking about tonight. I never ask guest speakers to come in with a certain topic. I feel like it helps them speak from their heart. So it's a surprise, and I am excited. So, Sammy, I'm going to hand it right on over to you. I think I unmuted you.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me? I'm assuming good. Good.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I am super honored, super excited to talk to you guys tonight. And I want to tell you a little bit about my story because I think it's important for you guys to know where I've been and why I'm at where I'm at. And I was always really skeptical of Beachbody. I was what I call myself as the worst human ever in prospect world. So if you've ever had somebody that you know is going to be a great coach and they're very adamant that Beachbody is a scam and not for them, that was me. And the worst case thing is that this was to my sister. So if anyone, she wanted me to be the person that signed up, and I gave her a lot of SHIT not wanting to sign up, thinking it was just kind of her thing. I was going to dental school. That was always my path. That was something that I knew since I was 12 years old that I wanted to do. And I was somebody who, really just I had no plan B. And so when I graduated from Michigan State University, I got denied dental school. And so my plan B was going to dental assisting school to build up my resume to go to dental school. And that was when Jamie started Beachbody. And again, Jamie was always into fitness. She was a personal trainer. She was a wellness coach. I was into sports, but the only reason I would ever work out was so that I could go to the bar. I did not work out at home. And if I did work out at home, I had other agendas for reason for that. And so fast forward a little bit of time, I got dumped by my high school sweetheart, and it was devastating. And I was completely heartbroken. And so what I thought the solution to finding myself and finding that confidence, not feeling like a failure because of dental school, was to start counting calories, because everyone on social media kept talking macros, calories, macros, calories. And so that's what I did. I tracked everything through an app called MyFitnessPal. And that was really my life for quite some time. I'm not going to say a year, but a few months for sure. Calories in, calories out. I would go to the gym, burn X amount of calories, and I would not leave until I hit that number. And it got so bad that I went to my sister's workout class reluctantly, and I fell down in the class. I had a banana and a yogurt, and it was 5 p.m. And Jamie, being the health conscious person, is like, this is not okay. And I wasn't confident. That didn't help at all. If anything, I was more insecure than anything I had ever felt before. And so fast forward a little bit more time, and that was when the 21-day fix was released. And my sister approached me with it. And like a skeptical person would, I had her buy on her account with her discount with no Shakeology. And that's what I did. $45, that was the first program I ever completed 100%. And it changed my life. It was 5 years of now doing that eating plan, and it made me feel so good that I felt like I needed to pay that forward. It got me out of such a sad and depressed state that I knew that no matter what, this was going to be a part of my life. And so I went to Coach Summit reluctantly. I was also a discount coach for a year for my sister. And I went to go work out with Shaun T. And I was starting to see results of these programs. But again, I was never going to work the business. I was just going to have people come to me and do it that way. And I went to Coach Summit 2015. And I have never missed Success Club since that day. That was the day I decided to actually work this business. And I think that says a lot, because you'll hear every top coach talk about the one word of consistency. I think it's been on every team call I've ever felt. And I think there's so much to that. But I'm going to dial that in a little bit further and tell you why. Because, everyone tells you be consistent and be here for 1 year from now. I'm sure you've heard that phrase. And me, I'm a skeptical human. I was a science master's student. I want to know all the facts. So when somebody tells me be here in 1 year, I want to know why. Like, okay, why am I here in 1 year? And my brother-in-law, he is my sister's, they work the business together. And he said, Sami, how much would you pay yourself for your work ethic this week? And I'm a numbers person. So I'm like, well, realistically, I think at the time I was like, probably about $500. And he was like, great. That's what it means when you're going to be here in 1 year, because that's your paycheck in 1 year. And that changed everything for me, because I started looking at my work ethic based on next year. This business, unfortunately, isn't a direct payment. Like, of course, okay, you sell a challenge pack, you get $40, $50. Great. But the whole real root of this business is in Team Cycle Bonus, and it's about building your team and building leaders. And so when you sit and you work and work and work and you put 20 hours in and your paycheck is $100, that is devastating to the real world, because you're so used to going to work, punching in, getting paid for that work, and punching out. I knew as a dental assistant at $14 an hour, I knew exactly what my paycheck was going to be after 32 hours or whatever hours I put in that week. That was not how this business was. And that was the frustrating thing for me, because I was working so much but not getting paid so much. Well, it was because I was getting paid next year. Great. That's where this all began. So what I started doing was really tracking everything. This is how I've developed. I went from 2 years ago, I rank advanced 1 diamond coach other than myself. My second business center and my coach, Jessica, helped us hit elite the first time. The next year, we rank advanced 14. So what's the big difference here? Like, why all of a sudden the big jump? How is your team growing so fast? It's tracking. It is 100% tracking. And I am a numbers person, again. So when I started looking at trackers that were actually going to move my business forward, I started realizing not only what I needed to do, but what I wasn't doing. And so when I used, I don't know if you guys have a Win the Week tracker. That was the first tracker that I used. And what it did was it worked for me in school, because as a master's student, I was finishing my thesis. I was doing Beachbody. I was really freaking busy. I was really, really busy, as we all are. But when you're in an exam week and that is your priority, I can't do a standard power hour every day. It didn't work for me. So I needed to look at the week at a glance, so that if on Tuesday I had an exam, I could catch up on Wednesday. And that's what I didn't do the year before. I wasn't doing that. I was just going to fit Beachbody in. You need to make time for Beachbody, not make just time in your schedule and hope that it works out. It doesn't work that way. You need to be tracking, and you need to be very diligent with that tracking. And I can share with Ashley one of the trackers that I use, so you guys kind of have resources towards that. But what I started doing with my coaches who were building a business, and with myself, I'm doing this alongside them, is they check in with a tracker every single day. And I'm looking for progression of that week, because if someone shows me a tracker for a whole month and they've filled this thing out entirely, and this one that I'm specifically talking about has 70 new conversations. I'm not against people who say this, I'm never going to be somebody who tells you to work or reach out to 50 people a day. Why? Because when I did that, I started just reaching out to anyone, scripts. I was very disingenuous because you're just trying to hit a number. So I personally tell people 10 to 20 genuine new conversations a day. And if at that point you've done them every single day of the month for 3 months and you're still not getting people, then up your numbers. But usually when I see people fill out these trackers and they've started 70 new conversations, if they have all of these bubbles filled out, coaching invites, challenge group invites, checking into pages, and they are not on the Success Club board, I either know A, they're lying, which if you've ever been a teacher, this is kind of my correlation to you. When students are cheating, teachers know. When my coaches are not working, we know. You can't just show up every single day and not hit Success Club. Either A, you're lying, and I get it because you want to impress your coach, or B, you're doing the wrong things. Maybe you're looking in the wrong avenues. Maybe you're saying the wrong things. Maybe you're spending not enough time. Like, there's something wrong there. But at least when I would have my coaches check in with these trackers and stuff, I could pinpoint where everyone was at. You know, maybe Stacy's really not strong in the challenge group invite, but Shelly is really strong in that. Boom, now they're success partners and they can help each other out. But these are things that I needed to know for myself, because if you've ever done this business and you're just pouring and pouring and pouring into your coaches, and then all of a sudden somebody cancels, man, you spent so much time trying to chase them when you could have spent that time recruiting for new people. And so it's really a big balance, but tracking is everything. And it's not just tracking your business, it's tracking your coach's business and going about this business in a forward movement. But I knew that at the end of the week, my tracker needed to be done. So maybe that meant that I was going to work extra on Friday. But what I don't want you to do is get behind Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and every Thursday, you're spending 5 hours on Beachbody. It's not like that. It might work 1 week to kind of move around and skip a day, but you can't just not show up to work. You know, that will never happen. I have been posting on Instagram for, I believe it's almost 5 years now, because I posted on Instagram before I was a coach. I have never, ever missed a single day posting on Instagram. I have had kidney stone surgery. My dogs have passed away. Adam's dad, unfortunately, passed away. We have had multiple things thrown at us. I've suffered with anxiety and depression. You name it. Shit is going to happen. You need to be there. Why? Because at the end of the day, the people that are following you need to know that you're going to be there for them. And I am not at all saying that you need to show up as your bubbly, happy self during these dark seasons of life, but you need to show up. And you need to make sure that you show up. And this business is going to be very hard if you don't do the easy stuff. The thing about this business, guys, is that it's only hard if you make it hard. I'm just going to say that blunt. If you show up and you actually get results, I'm not talking 80-20. I'm talking 3 weeks. Do you know how short 3 weeks are? Go all in. Get a freaking progress picture. Why? Because it makes inviting a whole lot easier when, one, you can show them, and two, they already see it. You can't argue a progress picture. So show up. Do the program. Do the freaking program. And when somebody asks you for chocolate cake, say no. Do you know how hard it is? Before I went dairy-free, I was in Chicago doing the 21-day fix. My favorite food in the whole world is Chicago deep dish pizza. Okay, like I would probably sell an arm over giving up for that for the rest of my life. I had to say no while all of my classmates ate pizza in front of me and I ate a salad. That was the hardest thing I did during that program. It obviously still inspires me today because I knew I could say no. And it inspired all my followers. It was like Emily Favre going to Disney World and doing 80-day obsession. Those stories stand out. And I'm not saying you need to do that forever. Like, you do not need to be 100% lifestyle. But if you don't have 100% progress pictures, that's probably why you haven't hit Success Club. Like, my top coach started her business on accident, because she had such good 21-day fix results. She was in an infomercial, and now she's an elite coach. She wasn't going to work the business, but when she posted those results because she was proud of them, people went to her. She didn't even have to reach out her first month. because people came to her and it put her in a coaching role. And then the next thing I knew, she was a Success Starter, and she's never once missed a month of Success Club ever. And she signed up in 2016. So results sell everything. Another thing is I started doing weekly and daily goals, because what I am is I am a type 3 on the Enneagram. I don't know if you know what that is, but I am an achiever, and I am very much somebody that needs goals, and I am focused. And I'm one of those people that I'm just going to go. And whatever that means, there's a lot of cons to that, so you know. But the cool thing about that type of personality, and hopefully a lot of you guys, even if you're not a type 3, was I needed to know that I was moving forward. So tracking was great, but I was getting so focused on hitting diamond and then hitting elite and now hitting superstar that like sometimes I get so focused on this goal, I can't even enjoy the journey. And it's like you'll sign up a coach and you're like, great, check off. All right, sign up a coach. Okay, great. And it's like you can't enjoy the daily things, and it starts to eat at you. And every day you're not that goal, you start comparing yourself. You start watching so-and-so sign up, they hit diamond. And then you watch someone and they're at the top of their leaderboard and you're like, what? Where? Like how? It is so defeating if you don't set daily and weekly goals, because that is a constant affirmation that you are moving forward. So my daily goal was my tracker. That was my daily goal. If I could check that off at the end of the night, I was being successful. Constant weekly goals. In my planner right now, obviously we might have different goals, but it's something simple. It's a Success Club goal every week. So maybe you're shooting for SC10. Great. There are now 4 weeks in this month on a weekend date. Obviously it's 4.5, but maybe you want to do 2, 4, 6, 8 or 2, 4, 6, 10. So that every week that is your goal, and you're not looking at this huge goal of SC10. You're looking at 2 people, 2 more people. 2 more people. And maybe you want to hit diamond and you're 6 coaches away. Great. Add 4 coaches this month, 1 a week. 1 a week is so doable. And that way you can start checking a box. But make sure that even if you set goals that you're not sure you're going to hit, set goals you're sure you're going to hit. Maybe it's you need to drink Shaco every day. You're not good at it. Check a box. Maybe it's working out. Maybe that's your weakness. Check a box. Maybe you are like me and you suffer with not drinking enough water. Even though I've had 5 kidney stones, you'd think I'd learn. I suck at drinking water. I'll be the first to admit it. That is a daily and weekly goal for me, because I need to know that I'm moving forward. So it's not all business related, guys, but these things are so important for you on your journey. And I can tell you from personal experience that it's kind of like personal development. You're moving forward. And when you get so focused on your own goals, you stop focusing on everyone else's goals, because it's really, really easy to start comparing yourself in this business to people who sign up before you, people who sign up after you. There's always going to be someone who grows faster than you. There is. I had a coach hit diamond in 30 days. I now have a coach that she was 1 coach away in a week. And all of a sudden my 30-day coach was all stressed out that she wasn't going to be the fastest. And I was like, whoa here. The cool thing about this business is it's like being a doctor. What do you call a doctor that graduated from any university? They're all a doctor, folks. Doesn't matter if they graduated last. Doesn't matter if they graduated first. Doesn't matter how long it takes you. But you need to be moving forward. You can't stay at the same rate for 6, 8, 12 months. Like, you're going to get very complacent. And you're going to get very down on yourself. And obviously rank isn't everything, but I will tell you, it will motivate you every time you are hitting these goals. And so have small goals, but keep the big goals. If you're a Emerald coach right now, your diamond goal date should not be August. It should be within 2 months. And yeah, that's scary, but that's why it's called a push goal. I don't set goals that I know for sure I'm going to hit all the time. Though the goals that I make sure I hit are the ones that I have complete control over. Water, nutrition, fitness. You don't control your rank. So you can't just sit there and be like, well, I know I'm going to hit 1 star on Thursday, because if you don't hit 1 star on Thursday, you're going to be really upset. But you better have a date that you know you're going to hit, and a date that you're going to push. And if you don't hit it, make another date and make another date. When I didn't hit diamond the day of my diamond goal, I made it for the next week, and then the next week, and I think the 3rd week I hit it, because you just don't stop. Next thing I really focus on is my biggest weakness. And so this is opposite of that. And this is something I want you to do when you are mentally ready to do this. But the sooner you can do this, the sooner your business will grow. And this is obviously something you want to do kind of after you do personal development or when you're in a good space, and it's focusing on your biggest weakness. My biggest weakness when I first started this business was hitting Success Club. I felt like I was doing all the things. And Jamie asked me, well, are you running free groups? No. You need to run free groups. Okay. So I ran one free group. Didn't work. Run another. Ran another. Didn't work. I started tweaking what I was doing wrong in those groups. I eventually ran the same free group for 15 months in a row and hit Success Club every single time. They were YouTube videos that I created, and what I realized was that my people struggle with nutrition, and that's what my 4-day meal guide was. We didn't have Beachbody on demand. I feel like a dinosaur saying that. But like day one was just talking about their why, and I gave them a 4-day meal guide. All followed the 21-day fix, but it was my freemium, my value to them. And every day I posted about my superfood shake recipe. So every day I got a comment, what is your superfood shake? Rather than just Googling Shakeology. Gave them, whoever was the most engaged, and I quote, gets a package of my favorite things. That posted Monday night so that they were engaged for the rest of the group. Day 2 was about sugar and how it affects your body, because I want them to start looking at labels and look at their protein shakes, because a lot of protein shakes have sucralose in them. Day 3 was about sodium. And if you don't know much about my story, my dad suffered a widowmaker heart attack, which is a 10% survival rate. And that's really what started our Beachbody journey. He is a freaking power horse. He's doing amazing. He is actually his cardiologist's poster child for sodium and for coming out of a freaking horrible experience. His heart stopped 4 times in one day, and he is probably the healthiest human I know. And so things can change, and that's where I show a little bit of value in getting them to start looking at sodium, because most people don't. And then day 4 is simply inviting to the 21-day fix. That was it. That was all I did, and got so many people into these free groups. My second biggest weakness in this business, once I started mastering Success Club, was going to be, getting people to hit Emerald. Well, those Emerald and 24-hour calls, post them. Give them tools. And if they're not hitting Emerald, they might not be your people. And so every season of this business, I was reevaluating where my focus needed to be, because I was so focused on I want to get a coach that's going to sign up and hit Diamond in a week. Well, that's great and all, but if I couldn't hit Success Club, that shouldn't be something that I'm going to focus on right away. You need to start small and grow big. If you don't hit Success Club, that's your biggest weakness. Maybe your biggest weakness is posting on social media. Maybe it's Instagram in general. Sign up for free trainings. Learn as much as you can. Dive into YouTube. Learn so much about it that you become a spokesperson for it. I got to a point where I felt so confident in hitting Success Club, I was doing team calls about it because I studied it. I went back to school and I went to YouTube and I searched calls and I searched all these different things. Next thing, and the last thing really that I wanted to talk to you guys about is really you need to ask yourself in all areas of this business, especially your challenge groups, especially your Instagram. Those 2 things are publicized. Those are things that are going to be a storefront for you. Are you inspired by it? Because if you're not, and you're just going through motions and you're showing up and you're doing your stuff in your challenge groups, I've had many months in my business where challenge groups are just like watching paint dry, and I'm like, I don't even like checking into them. I changed that this year, and checking into my challenge group is one of my favorite things to do now. If you're not inspired by it, change it. What would you want? What would you want on Instagram? Don't just do what Ashley does because she's successful. Don't just do what Melanie Mitra does because she's successful. If you manifest what you're inspired by, your people are going to come. And if you're going into your challenge groups and you're like, okay, water challenge, we're going to drink water, blah, 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 and you're not enthused, you just know this is what you're supposed to do as a coach, that's a big problem to address. And I don't get me wrong, I've been there. I've been there so many times. I mean, there were so many months in my business where I was just posting to post, and I was just going through motions, and I was posting, haven't talked about fitness, got to put that in. Haven't talked about Adam, got to put that in. I want you to rewind, and I want you to ask yourself, when you go on social media, what makes you comment? What makes you excited? What makes you, for example, there was 2 things that I felt like I saw so much on social media back in the day. And it was, someone posting a picture of their lunch and they'd be like, what did you have for lunch? Would you comment on that? No, I wouldn't comment on that. time is money to people. I'm not going to go be like, well, I had a turkey sandwich with, nobody's going to do that. But what did make me want to comment, and I wrote it down to repost it, was someone said, okay, so I started my day with a headache 3 days in a row. Anyone have any remedies? Well, I used to suffer migraines, and I didn't even know I grinded my teeth at night. I grind my teeth so hard, I almost grinded through my bite guard. So I got a bite guard, and I stopped throwing up from migraines. So I felt like I needed to tell this person, and I was like going my whole life story, and I started realizing what people were commenting on my Instagram for. And today, something so simple, but I knew that I would comment on this because it's something Adam and I talk about all the time. Him and I, when we go to the grocery store, we are two different humans. I am so excited. I love shopping, grocery store. Like, let's bring out the list. Let's smell the candles. Let's do this. Like, I want to make an event and a date out of going to the grocery store. We were in there and he was like, all right, I'm leaving. Like, you can get what you need. I'll meet you at the checkout. And I was like, I need to post about this, because if I read this from somebody, and from posting that, I've been getting an average of, like, we'll say like 10 comments on a photo. I posted that and there's 191 because people want to tell you. People want to tell you, and that's something that would make me comment. So when you go on Instagram, like, start writing down things that make you scroll stop, things that make you inspired. And one of the exercises I always have my coaches do, and I don't know if you've ever watched a team call from me, but I have them write down their emotions, because this is so important on social media and in your challenge groups, because you got to think, guys, like, there are hundreds of people that they're following. Why stop on yours? And it's this idea that they want to be your best friend. My goal for people when they come to my Instagram is that they know Adam, they know Pongo, they know me, they know I'm sassy, they know I swear, like, I go on rants. My mom calls me Soapbox Sami. Yeah, they know Sharon, my alter ego, when I'm like, they know that. I want that. So when you're sitting there and writing down, like, take a blank sheet of paper with you this week, and I want you to write down anything that makes you sad, anything that makes you angry, anything that makes you just so freaking joyous. Like, for me, it's seeing old people walking, holding hands. Like, that just warms my heart. And start making those stories into your posts, because that's what people connect to. That's what people gravitate towards. If, like, people love Adam, and, that's great and all. He's not even on social media, but they feel like they know him because he's kind of shy. He'll make a post every so often. But, like, I tell the story of Adam and I as much as I possibly can. And that's what you want from your Instagram. So one last example of an emotional thing that people blew up my inbox for was, I'm from Michigan, Midwest people. Going that to California and Berkeley especially are like the most polar opposite cities you could possibly have. And I didn't know here that pedestrians can just walk across the street. And I'm someone who gets really offended when people don't say please and thank you. Like, that makes my blood boil. Nothing will just frustrate me more when I'm with somebody and they just treat somebody rude in front of me. Like, I'm sweating thinking about it because it gets me so angry. And so I realized here that people will just walk across the street and you have to stop for them, which is totally fine. It's the fact that they don't give the courtesy wave, just like, thank you for acknowledging my existence. And I started like waving at them, and Adam is like, you need to calm down. Like, these people are not used to you needing this. And it made me frustrated. And so I went on Instagram and I just went on like a 45-second rant. And I was just like, I think it's crazy that people don't give a courtesy wave when they're merging into traffic or crossing across the street. Like, even if you're supposed to stop, thank them. Like, thank them. And my inbox blew up of people either laughing at me, agreeing with me, understanding me. They felt me. Think about if you were going to go on Tinder or go on Bumble and you were going on your date and you're meeting this person and they never showed emotion. You would never go on that third date. You might give them a second date benefit of the doubt because they're really, attractive, but you would never give them a third date. If Adam never opened up to me about anything, it wouldn't work. So it's no different with coaching. You need to make them feel like they're your best friend and let them in. And it might feel kind of weird because you're just talking to yourself on Instagram, but you're really not. You're really not. Because what's going to happen is you'll start getting DMs. And for example, I love Harry Potter. I have so many DMs of Blender Bottle coming out with Harry Potter water bottles. I cannot even count. It happened the day it launched. I had an inbox full because they're thinking of me outside of Instagram. That is your goal as a coach. Same thing with your challenge groups. Your challengers need to be thinking of you when they're deciding between ice cream and vegetables. That's the secret sauce. So hopefully you got at least one takeaway, but that's my little spiel.
I got many takeaways, so I love it. I took notes. Sami, are you open to a couple questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And I'm the same way. I give it so bad. I'm like, you're welcome. Like, hello,
Yeah.
I let you in. You're welcome. Yeah, no, I hate going back to Florida because I want to like punch all the Florida drivers. Drives me bonkers. So I'm right there with you. Does anybody, I know you guys don't really like to speak, but does anybody have any questions for Sami? Somebody has to have at least one, right? Come on.
I couldn't have been that good, guys.
Brianna, Florida, I grew up there for 19 years. They are literally the worst drivers. Literally the worst. Kayla, did you unmute yourself? Do you have a question?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm turning down my baby monitor. So for your free group, like the 4-day group, you said you kind of based it off like the containers or like 21-day fix. So did you kind of just like take the materials and then like from bot or however you had them at that time and then kind of just make them your own? Did you like repurpose, like create your own graphics and stuff, or was it more just like sharing like videos and posts and all of that?
So
like was it on Facebook at the time?
Yeah, I did everything on Facebook. I created it in Google Slides. It was a 4-day meal guide. It just said like Shore Girl Fitness meal guide. And then day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. And then I would update it based on the days of the group. So if it was like September 1st through the 4th, and then I would just change it for October. And so day 1, for example, would be like my superfood shake recipe, and it would be strawberry. And then the next day would be chocolate pancakes, just to let them, kind of drop the hint that it can be food too. And then the next day it's, they didn't have vanilla vegan, but I could do a vanilla recipe. And then for lunch and dinner, I gave them actual foods I ate on the 21-day fix that followed the containers. And so in the group, I kind of preluded into being like, this is my eating plan, and it's all based on portion sizes. Do you feel like that's something you struggle with? Poll option. And so that way you're kind of getting them to think about this the whole time. And then Wednesday night after I did the sodium video, I just said, I love this, hype of this group. Because of it, I'm going to be running a 21-day boot camp based on my eating plan that you guys have kind of looked at throughout this group. Is that something you might be interested in? Yes. And then the next day I posted my 21-day fix transformation with the start date of my next group, and then messaged every single person that was in the group. And, and obviously not everyone signed up, but it was so helpful.
Thank you. Yeah, that's cool that you, basically like got them to think about it before knowing like what actually was. Because then when you asked, it was like, oh, now that I know that it's like an actual program, I can't really say no in the same way because I agreed with the concepts, I guess. It's not like, yeah, so that's cool. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Being a student, I ran into a lot of people with money objections. So a lot of my people were students. And so it was really easy for them to see the value of me by going into that group. And like one of my top coaches actually came from one of those groups, and she was the person I strategically chose the prize for. And I sent her the Performance Science sampler pack. She signed up as a coach 3 months later, and now she's one of my Star Diamond coaches. So, it does go a long way, especially when you're investing into a group, and it doesn't need to be anything crazy, but I strategically just did it based on Beachbody products because I talked about Shaco so much, but she might as well see the other side of it. And it was amazing.
Anybody?
That's a really good idea. I have a lot of college students too that follow me just because my sister is younger than me, and so I struggle to like ask them because I know they don't have any cash. But I feel like if I sent them something that would give them value, they might say, okay, like I should invest in this. Like It's not, because then they can see the value. So that's a good idea.
And with students too, being one, you still have financial aid. So, if they really want to put it into the plan, they can, or, you know, budget it away. But at that point, they at least have some type of value towards this 160 rather than being like, do I want beer or do I want a fitness package? Like, I mean, I'm just being real. That was kind of my
yeah, thing. I feel like I just have like the guilt in my head of asking, but it's up to them to decide.
Yep.
And I like what Sami said at the beginning of the call. She said, like, she just felt the need to pay it forward. I think a lot of times coaches struggle with inviting because they don't want to be pushy or they don't want to be salesy or they're afraid they're going to offend somebody. Or like Kayla said, like, you're afraid because of money. But at the end of the day, like, if we truly, truly love the products, all we're doing is trying to pay it forward and help somebody else's life change. Like, I truly believe that at the end of the day. And I think that's why the coaches that are out there that are successful in running the groups is because they truly want to pay it forward. And that's why anytime someone's like, well, I'm not a salesperson. Good. I don't want a salesperson. I want you to truly love the products, which you can tell where Sami comes from. Sami is a part of Chelsea Pearson's downline for my Emerald group, who Chelsea just did a one-on-one with my Emeralds the last week and talked about the Enneagram.
Yeah.
And then Alex did a team call for us a couple weeks ago, and Alex is under Sami. So you can tell where they all like mesh in together. Brittany said, do you have free groups with minimal people? Do you just go through no matter how many?
So honestly, I think you have to kind of look at it as like, this is always hard because I get the idea of being scared to run a free group with 3 people. Like I understand that may look different, but you have to remember, you need one person to blow up in your downline. I'm only one person under Jamie, and I have 1,600 coaches under me. So every person truly counts. And if it were one-on-one, I would send them information one-on-one. If that were 2 people, put them into a group. It does not matter how many, because I have had some groups with a very small amount of people do really, really well, and some groups with a ton of people not do well. So it's totally about quality over quantity.
We've all had those groups where you're just like grasping at straws to get people to come in.
Yep.
Right.
Totally been there.
Does anybody else have any other questions before Sami? Before I let her go? No? Well, Sami, I got a lot of the call, and I have tons of notes and just all the tidbits that you gave. So I appreciate you taking time out of your night. I know at 40 minutes, I know you're like a workaholic when it comes to the business. So taking 40 minutes out of your night to help our team truly means world. Team, don't go anywhere because I have a call to action for y'all. So thank you, Sami, for hopping on tonight and just speaking to our team. I really do appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me. See you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, I want to give you guys a quick call to action because I like them and it helps me it helps me. So 1, go listen to Emily's live video if you did not. I don't know how to pronounce the word Enneagram, it's a something gram. Emily posted a link of it. There's a ton of free ones out there. Chelsea had talked about the Emerald group. Was it last week that she did the call for us and talked about it? So it just may help you understand yourself a little bit better. But so that's 1, go watch Emily's live. 2, I just want you to post on the team page something that you got from this call. If you didn't get something from this call, then I need you to go back and listen to the call because each and every person should have got something from this call. And I love that she talked about different like topics. Like she didn't just pick one topic. She talked about a lot of things. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, guys. Sami did a call a while back in the team champions page because she went from being a discount coach to being like elite within so many years. So if you want to hear more about her story and how she got really dived into the business, make sure to listen to that. But she's really blown up in the last couple years and this last year, and her team is doing amazing things this year. They are on the brink of hitting a double superstar diamond within like weeks of one another, which is unheard of in this business. No one's ever done it before. So I love everything that she gave us. So that is your call to action, guys. Post in the team page your biggest takeaway from the call. Maybe you have a couple and anything that you're going to try to change and implement. And the only thing that I ask is if you say you're going to change and implement it, do it. Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. We do have a team call next week. I'm going to be talking about challenge groups. I know you're like, Ashley, didn't we just talk about this a couple months ago? There's a lot of new blood on our team, so I'm going to just constantly be revolving new topics. So I'll be touching base on a couple different ways you can run challenge groups, free ones, non-free ones, things like that. I did have on the calendar, we have a team call on the 24th. I will be at a baseball game with my daughter. Looking at dogs. You can bring dogs to the game. That's the only reason we're going, is because you can bring your dog to the park. So unless somebody else, I know I'm a sucker. I paid $33 so my kid can go see dogs that she could have seen at a dog park for free. I'm well aware. My husband is not the most enthusiastic about it. So unless somebody offers to host a call on the 24th, as of right now, we will not have a call on the 24th. If somebody offers, then I will let you guys know. We have a push to Emerald call on Monday, how to hit Emerald in the next 24 hours. And then we'll have a new coach call on the 29th. So just a couple calls to mark your calendars, guys. We are not even halfway through the month. Not even halfway through the month. So much more can be done this month. Yeah, she loves dogs, Crystal. It's ridiculous. She will like lose her crap if she sees one going by the window. So much time left in this month. So get out there and do the things that you need to be. Oh, everybody's leaving. All right. Bye, guys. Cool. All right. But there is so much time left in this month, guys. If you are taking your foot off the gas, then you really need to take a step back and reevaluate why you joined as a coach, why you were doing this, what your goals are. When we take our foot off the gas, it only hurts our business. Just like Sami said, we need to show up every single day because people are looking at you to show up. People are watching you for a reason. So continue to show up and do the things that you need to do and track your business. I'm going to be asking for BATs tomorrow on the team page. Don't go trying to fill one in now to think you have one. Like, just like Sami said, like, be honest with your BAT. Okay. And if you don't know what it is, guys, search the team page. All right, y'all. I will see you guys next week. Good night, guys.